Hello, aquarium scientists. Today we're going to investigate this question. How do animal and plant offspring defend themselves when they grow up? Now remember, offspring means the young version that is developed by a parent living thing. And we're going to use our bodies to show what we have learned so far about how plants and animals survive. For each set of pictures, we're going to look at a picture of a grown offspring, and then we're going to visualize how that grown offspring defends itself. You're going to use your body to show your ideas. So if there is an animal with a spike, make spikes. If you see antlers, make antlers. If you see a shell, I want you to show me your shell. If you're camouflaging, show me camouflage. And if you think there's poison, use your poison glands to secrete that poison. Okay, here's our first picture. Say, hi, grown snail offspring. Excellent. Show me the defense that grown snail offspring uses. Excellent. Say, the snail uses its shell to defend itself. Good thinking. Okay, here's our caribou. Say, hi, grown caribou offspring. Show me the defense that the grown caribou offspring is using. That's right. Say, the grown caribou uses its antlers, which are kind of like horns and spikes. Yeah, good job. Now become the barrel cactus parent of the barrel cactus offspring. Say, hi, grown barrel cactus offspring. Yes, show me the defense that the cactus uses. Ow! That's right. The spikes and spines of the cactus defend that cactus. Now become the grown snowy owl offspring. Whoo, whoo. Ooh, you're right. The grown snow owl uses camouflage. Excellent. Now I'd like you to show me the grown sequoia offspring. Good. You think the grown sequoia has really thick bark? Yeah, and that's kind of like armor. Yes, that is true. And also, it's possible that there are some camouflage elements to this living offspring too. Good. Yeah, its bark is really thick. The bark is so thick that it can resist certain insects that like to burrow into the bark of many other types of trees. Okay, scientists, excellent job acting out the defenses of the offspring. Now, we're going to observe some videos. We know that we always want evidence. We want proof to back up our ideas. So we've observed videos before, and we're going to watch a video of a hawk and a group of iguanas. The iguanas in this group are the parents, and this is showing that there are parents with their offspring. We don't know which iguanas are parents and which iguanas are offspring, but we're going to look closely at them. We'll see what structures the iguanas have, and also see if different iguana structures look a little bit different from one another. So here's the video. I'm going to play it, and you're going to look and observe all the structures that the iguanas are using. Let's look at that one more time. Wow, there's so many iguanas that are lounging on those lava rocks. Wow. What did you notice about how the iguanas use their structures? What kinds of structures did you notice? You saw that it looked like their skin was very dark and matched the rocks? Definitely. Did it look like they had some spiky appendages on their iguana skin? Sure. You think you saw some claws or some really sharp nails? Excellent. What were some of the ways that these structures were a little bit different from each other? Yeah, it looked like some of the spikes on the iguana skin, some of them were sharper than others, some of them were smaller and shorter. They didn't all have the same exact pointiness. How do you think the iguanas were defending themselves from the hawk? So it looked like they were spiky, but they weren't really using their spikes. So what could be another thing that they were doing? They were certainly blending in. That's right. I want you to say those iguanas were using camouflage. That's right. They were blending into those lava rocks. And what did you notice about how parents and offspring defend themselves in that particular film? That's right. The offspring and the parents were defending themselves in the same way. So we can learn a lot about genetic, genetic features and how they're passed on to their young, and also how we can predict that there are certain ways animals will behave that teach us about how their parents behaved. We can learn a lot about the structure of the parents' bodies by looking at the offspring's bodies. Awesome. Okay. Well, you know that we work so hard to explain our thinking. And one way we could talk about the iguanas is we could say, all of the iguanas have brown skin, and that works as camouflage. It lets them blend in with the rocks. They were all hard to see on the rocks, and none of them got eaten by the hawk. That was a really good way to explain how the iguanas were staying safe. Well, I want you to practice using science words to explain how other kinds of animals and plants use their structures to defend themselves. We're going to say this big science sentence together. Are you ready? Blank can survive because it uses blank to blank. Well, we've used that sentence a lot of times. Now we're going to think about how we can explain how parents and offspring use their structures to defend themselves. Blank can survive because it uses blank to blank. So we're really talking about the offspring and parents. And you have a special writing planner page. Let me show you a bigger version of this page. Okay, scientists, so you're going to draw a living thing in the box where it says parent. I want you to say, this box is for the parent. This box is for the parent. Okay, now you're going to draw a parent living thing that has a shell, spikes, or camouflage as a defense. So think about a puffer fish. You might want to draw an armadillo. You might draw an owl. You might draw an Arctic fox. You're going to draw that parent. And you're going to tell me which of the defenses your parent is using. So if you drew a turtle, what would you circle here? Would you circle shell, spikes, or camouflage? Yeah, you would circle shell. And then you're going to tell me how the shell keeps the parent safe. Okay? Does the shell help the turtle to not be found? Does the shell help the turtle to not be caught? Does the shell help the turtle to not be broken into pieces? Does the shell help the turtle to not be eaten? Well, the shell can help the turtle to not be broken into pieces and not be eaten. All of the words you circle can be put in the blank areas of this science sentence. And you know this sentence, we've said it a lot of times. Blank can survive because it uses blank to blank. Here's an example. On this next page, I chose a butterfly. I drew a parent butterfly, and we've looked at some pictures of butterflies that camouflage into their surroundings. If a butterfly is matching the colors of its environment, it can't be seen easily. It will not be found. So here's what my sentence looks like. The butterfly parent can survive because it uses camouflage. See how I circled that word camouflage, and it's right on the line here. You're going to write that word. Uses camouflage to not be found. And those are the words, not be found. I want you to try your best to think about an animal parent that uses a defense and how the defense is used, and you're going to write your sentence too. Now, here's an example of another parent. We haven't really talked about this kind of living thing that much, but this is a very prime example of a living thing using a certain kind of defense. What is it using? Look at that picture. That sea urchin parent is using spikes. That's right, spikes or spines. So what you can do is draw the sea urchin right in that part of the picture. circle spikes. And what do the spikes do as a defense to keep that parent safe? Yeah, they help the sea urchin to not be caught and also potentially not be broken into pieces and maybe even not be eaten. A few of these word combinations will make sense for the science sentence. How do you think the sea urchin offspring, the babies, defend themselves? Do you think they use camouflage or do you think they use spikes like their parent? That's right, they use spikes like their parent. So when animal and plant offspring grow up, they defend themselves in the same way as their parents. I want you to take a break and I want you to work on making your sentence and your picture of a parent and think about how the offspring defends itself too. Okay, scientists, I know you took a little break. Now I want you to think about Spruce and her offspring. How will Spruce the sea turtle's offspring survive where there are sharks? Think about what Spruce uses. Yeah, Spruce uses a shell. Spruce uses camouflage. That's right. Do you think her offspring will also survive with those defenses? Okay, well, let me see. Draw or write your ideas. Remember, scientists, I want you to label your diagram and I want you to practice explaining your drawing because scientists, they draw, record, and they explain their ideas by communicating with the science vocabulary we've been learning. I'm very proud of you and I cannot wait to see what you come up with for your diagram, for your drawing, for your explanation. I love seeing you and I feel very lucky that we get to work together. Remember, use these words to explain how animal and plant parents and offspring defend themselves. I'm looking forward to seeing your work. Have a great day. Bye, scientist.